Go. We are now recording. Okay, let's keep, we're not going to adjourn. All right, so tonight's program, you can see some familiar faces in these pictures. So thank you for tonight for joining us, from around the world. Eugene from Taiwan, Clara from Italy, and Mickey from Poland. We're so glad you guys can make it. I really like that picture on the right of Bill eating a plate. That's a good looking picture, Bill.
Eating a plate? I don't see myself eating a plate. Where you
with Eugene on the right hand side.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm covered by the cameras now. Oh, yes.
I miss those trips to Huhat, Eugene. Those were fun. So, so we're gonna keep this relatively informal. I believe Lisa and Ashley are gonna give us a little highlight of the youth exchange program for those who haven't, who've not been here since we've had a youth exchange student due to COVID. But we'll go from there. So, as most of you know, Laura had her baby, so she's not able to join us tonight. They are, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later tonight. But Ashley, Lisa, who's going?
I will talk.
Okay.
So
good.
I think that a lot of people here are fairly familiar with Youth Exchange, but just for those of us that are not, it's an international program where high schools get to live in a different country, and there's different time periods that can happen for. It can be for a year, or there are shorter exchanges available. But it's a really unique opportunity, and we'll get to hear about some of the life impacts potentially that have happened with the students that we've had in the year that they got to spend in La Crosse. I wanted to draw attention to the fact that they live with host families, and that can be one of the challenges that we see with the program. We have to find families for the students to live with, and it's not for the entire time that they're here. If they're here for a year, it can only be for 3 months. It could potentially be longer, just depending on how things work, but it could be for as short as 3 months. So if anybody is interested in hosting a student, please talk to me, please talk to Ashley, please talk to Laura, talk to Bill. And I also would like to say that it doesn't have to be someone from our club hosting. So if you know of a coworker, a friend, a family member, someone that you know that would like to experience having an international student live with them, please broach the subject to them. I think there are more people out there probably that would be willing to host. We just don't necessarily draw into that. So if you know of anyone, talk to them about potentially hosting, because we are planning on having a student for 22-23, and that's the plan right now. Who knows if that's actually going to happen because of the world we live in, but we're planning on that. So we're going to need to find families for our student to live with for their time here. So if you're willing to host, if you know someone who's willing to host, I'd be happy to talk to anyone about what that looks like so that they could get a little idea of what hosting would look like. I also would like to say that there are other opportunities to volunteer other than hosting. So how we have things structured in after hours, there are many opportunities to interact with the students in a formal manner and an informal manner. And I think we had the last time that we had a student, I think we had a pretty good structure in place to get them involved with the club regularly through coming to club events, coming to meetings, doing other things that the student is interested in doing. So if you have any interest in doing any of that, please speak with me, talk to Laura, talk to Bill. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for us to continue to be involved with students from around the world. And I hope that we get to do this at some point in the near future, because it's been several years since we've had a student, and I think that they can bring a lot to what our club does. So anything, Ashley, you'd like to add?
Oh, can I jump in there? I mean, I don't know, Lisa, do we really want to host another student? I don't know if we could top, Eugene, Mickey, and Clara. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe
I'm not saying we're looking for someone better.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
We are interested in having another.
Oh, okay. All right. And if you've hosted, can you give a quick wave? Because I know Larry, you've hosted, Brandon, you've hosted. If you've been a host family, give a quick wave.
Josh hosted, yeah.
Oh, I did. Oh, yeah, right. And Eugene, you weren't terribly, traumatized by the experience. You still look like an upstanding, fine young gentleman, so that's good. Cool. Sorry, Ashley, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, I don't have anything to say. I think Lisa did a great job explaining it. It's a great program that we're able to do. We've had a lot of fun experiences, I think, with our youth exchange students. So I would suggest when we have another youth exchange student to get involved in one way or another, whether that's grabbing dinner with one or hosting one. There's a lot of opportunities. We also have a youth committee. So if you're interested in helping with the youth experience, you're welcome to join our youth committee. You can reach out to Josh, myself, or Lisa, and we can get you connected.
Thank you. Lisa, if you're okay, we'll proceed forward, and I think we'll go with the oldest first. So, Eugene, why don't you give us an update on where you're at in life?
Sure. So I've been taking a lot of photos recently, or maybe after the exchange year. And I think it's about a few months ago that I really started to take photos for like portrait events photography, street photography, and so on. And I really do consider a career path for photography, but my parents haven't known yet, and I kind of doubt that they won't support me on this part, because they all thought that I'm a major in informational technology, so I kind of do coding. That's what I'm supposed to do after I graduated, and that's what they thought about me, like inside my room or whatever, wherever I am, I'm always coding to learn a new thing. No, that's not really it. I'm learning Lightroom, Photoshop, and then Premiere Pro, which is editing the videos and editing photos. Oh, you can go see my Instagram. I don't know if I can share my Instagram right here. Is it possible that I do that? Like this,
I don't know. Let me make sure that screen sharing is turned on, and maybe if you wanna take a look at that, we can hear from Clara, and then we can circle back to you. How's that sound?
Yeah, sure. I can try.
All right, Clara, you're up.
Hi. I don't know. I don't really have much to say. In my final year, and I'll probably graduate in July in diplomatic and international sciences. So yeah, probably I don't know. I wanna keep studying, but I don't know yet what I'm gonna do next year exactly. I'm starting to look now for something, and I would probably like to do something in the like human rights area, but I'm not sure yet. So I don't know. I'll see. I'll take some more time and then think about it. Besides that, I don't know. I'm do like usual stuff. Hang out with my friends. I started playing Ultimate Frisbee, so I might come back to the States this summer because there are gonna be the World Championship in Ohio. So I think my team will come, and I'll find out soon. I think by the end of the month, like 1 or 2 weeks, I will find out if I'm coming back to the States, and then if that's happening, I'll probably stay a little longer and travel a little bit. So I might come back to Wisconsin. Who knows?
Cool. That's awesome. So I think Mickey, if you want to give us an update, and then we'll swing back. Eugene, if you can share your Instagram and show us a few pictures, and then I think we'll just open it up for question and answer. So take it away, Mickey.
Cool. So I will start with I'm the happiest person on the planet right now. And yeah, I couldn't be happier because when I came back after US to my country, to Poland, I became a lifeguard at the local pool when I graduated from school. I didn't go to university. I started a job right after school, and then somebody from sauna that was upstairs. Do you guys know what sauna is, right? The really warm place when you go and sweat inside. Yeah. So you guys know what sauna is, but in the US it isn't. It is not that popular as it is in like Western Europe, like Germany and Poland. So yeah, I became a sauna master, and I have a quick video for you, just so you can see what I'm doing right now. That's yeah. It's not me, but that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. I'm waving a towel, and that's called Avgus, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing, and that's a lot of fun, and yeah, I'm taking part in competitions with this, and yeah, that's my job right now. I'm making decent money. I'm really happy guy right now. So, and I think the exchange really helped me to be in the place I'm right now. And yeah, I would just also say that I started a soccer referee course, so I gotta be a soccer referee in the next future. So yeah, yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Very cool. That's awesome. And
I'm a sauna master. That's my point.
you are the sauna master.
You guys probably don't know what the job is, but yeah, that's the best job in the planet. Yeah, I promise.
I was gonna say, it looks like your pores are really nice and open. You're you know, so
Yeah. Pause are
And
open for sure.
he takes music recommendations too. So if you have
Okay.
songs.
Oh yeah.
that
Daddy
you-
is sending me country and other music very often, and every music recommendation is good because I need music for my work. Music is like 90% of my work. So
okay.
yeah.
I see a request. Do you have a towel handy? The team wants to see your.
Hey yo, see, I don't have much space in my room, but I might do it on. So let the things going, and I'll think about it.
Okay.
How about
All right.
that?
All right.
And I might do that at the end. All right.
Okay. Sounds good. And Eugene, thank you for sharing. For everybody, Eugene shared his Instagram in the chat, so he put the link in there. It's pretty cool. I really enjoy those, like, the lightsaber ones that you do, Eugene. Those are really cool. So thanks for sharing. So yeah, if people go out there, take a look. But why don't Danny? I see you joined. So we've got the whole posse. So glad you could join us here tonight. But I think we'll open it up to questions. Does anybody have questions for our youth exchange students? Where they've been, where they are, where they're going? Don't everybody go at once, I guess. Or go ahead, Bill.
Come
I
on,
do.
guys. Any questions?
Okay, I certainly have a few. For the three of you, how has COVID been where you are and the world that you live in, or in specific cases, maybe for Eugene and for Mickey, you're pretty close to some front lines of some pretty dynamic political events going on in the world right now. Taiwan and China, and Mickey, you're not that far from the stuff that's going on the eastern sides. You have some, and Clara, if there's something in your neck of the woods, other than Clara, I'm going to be in Italy in September. I'll be there for 6 weeks, so 5 weeks. I'll see you then. But I'd love to hear about how life was for you guys in the time of COVID.
Yeah, who's gonna start? Eugene, you can go first.
Okay. I think it's pretty much the same. Like, we're all used to it, like wearing masks on the streets. But the new Omicron is getting, I think it's making our lives more difficult. So I'm in a winter break right now, and I think it's about 4 weeks. My plan was to go a street photography for around the island. Taiwan is kind of like a little island. That was my plan. And then to go to different places to visit my friends, my families. And that was the plan. I was really excited to do it. But then we went into like a second stage for the COVID. So travel aren't that really allowed, and it's more to do that. I have to take more risk, and so because of that, I have to. I think I'll stay in Taichung, my hometown, where my hometown is, and read books, watch Netflix, something like that. A normal winter break. But a winter break with no snow. I miss the snow in lacrosse. Ooh.
You wouldn't miss tonight.
I missed your winter coat. Eugene.
Oh, I didn't miss the shovel and snow. So playing with snow, watching snow. It's. I think it's still. I will still miss it for the first 10 minutes for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it happening in Taiwan right now. What about in Poland? And
But yeah, at the
other-
beginning in Poland, I think Poland was like the last COVIDed. Oh, that's a new word for you guys. COVIDed country in Europe, I guess. And yeah, people were not going crazy in Poland, but right now, I guess yeah, COVID changed everybody's life, I think. And according to your question, Bill, the Vladimir Putin right now is going crazy in like really close to me, and this political thing is yeah, it's getting real, and we should be looking at what we. Oh yeah, I don't know what I want to say, but yeah, Vladimir Putin is dangerous person right now, and we should be aware of that. And yeah, I'm living in a place where I should be aware.
Okay.
But according to COVID, it didn't change my life that much. They like closed my work for 2 months, but that's not. I mean, that's not horrible. I came back, and right now everything is open, and they're not gonna close anything anymore. So that's the answer.
Great. Thanks. Clara.
I think COVID had a great impact in my life a couple years ago. I mean, I think we already talked since then, but at the beginning of 2020, I was in Argentina. I was studying there, so I had to come back because of COVID. And then, well, since then, we kind of just got used to it. Now, basically, it's something normal. I mean, almost all my friends got COVID, so I mean it's a little bit annoying because you have to like stay at home and quarantine and everything, but it's almost normal now. I mean, in Europe you can travel. I'll go to Paris on Saturday to visit a friend. So it's a little probably harder. Maybe you are not sure if you can go or not, but you can still do things. So it's not that bad right now.
Sorry to interrupt. But I have a question. Like, is it normal for like in the States and Poland and Italy for people to get COVID? Like because none of the people I know in Taiwan get COVID. Like getting COVID
Wow.
is like getting a lottery. Like there's so little chance for getting
No, in
COVID.
Italy it's like super normal. Like literally everyone had COVID. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah.
I would say, Eugene, it's probably not quite Italy, but it's very common. It's, probably, I know of people on this call that had loved ones that they know die from it. I'm one of them. I lost my sister-in-law at 51 to it. So yes, there's been people that certainly have gotten here, but maybe not as much, Clara, as in Italy. I don't know that Liz would probably have better numbers on that, but it's not uncommon here.
Is it-
Eugene, people in my town, hardly anybody masks, even with high rates of transmission, and we're maybe just over 50% fully vaccinated.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's
So-
been turned into a political issue here, Eugene.
Yes.
So, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It's a fair question. Open game. Yeah, it is recorded, but it's all right. We're all good. We're all good. Okay, other questions?
I have a more lighthearted question. So since being back in your home countries, have you connected with other former exchange students, or have you interacted with other students that have been abroad?
Can I start?
Yeah.
I did with many the students that I met in wait, the conference was in Michigan, right? Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yep.
Yeah, I met a lot of cool people right there. So not only from our district, but like from this whole four district. And yeah, I actually I chatted with a lot of people that went to Poland because they were really cool guys and girls. So I just wanted to know what they up to, and that's what it is.
I think
Again,
I
was
met.
fun.
Do you guys remember Zoe? I think Zoe. I think it's the same. Yeah, 16 and 17. We met. We met many times in Taiwan. In we didn't plan on meeting. It was just our families are on vacations, and we saw each other's Instagram, and it was like, oh wait, you're like next, right? Like you're like right next to us. So we met up, and I also met another few exchange students. I think it was 2019. I was on short the Rotary short exchange program. I was in Denmark, and I met. So after the short-term exchange program, I went to Italy and other Europe countries to travel, and I met few exchange students that I met before leaving to US. So I think people are doing great.
Was
And-
Zoe an American, Eugene? Was she an American? I lost you there. Was she an American exchange?
Oh,
student
no,
or-
she's-
or from another country.
She's Taiwanese.
Okay, gotcha.
Clara?
I've met some of them. I've met some, yeah, well, mostly people that lives in Europe. And then I still talk to a lot of, well, not a lot, but some people that like Victoria, she's from Venezuela, and I still talk to her, but we didn't see each other yet. I hope one day I'll visit her, or she will visit me. I don't know. But yeah, I think they're all doing pretty good.
Okay, I have one more question that I'd like to ask Clara. Since you skied here, are you still skiing? Do you miss Mount Lacrosse?
Yeah, I still ski. Well, I broke my knee a couple years ago, so I didn't ski for a little bit. But and then COVID happened and everything. So this year was the first year I went back to skiing. I also went like last weekend. So yeah, it's like super nice to be back on the skis, and then I still ski. Yeah.
I actually have a question that kind of piggybacks off Lisa's question there. And this is for each of you guys, but what do you miss about either the States or lacrosse in general?
Ooh, can I go first? So, okay, where do I start with this? I was drinking and talking with my friends in the universities in Taiwan, and we all went to we all went to study abroad, different stage in our lives. So we kind of have something in common that we can find in each other. And the one thing that we recently discussed, or I think it's the difference between Taiwan and the States, is that when we first went to the States, we couldn't really understand why people say to each other whether they kind of know each other or they were stranger or they were really close, that they say to each other so often that I just get so I wouldn't say frustrated, but like it just caught my attention that people said in the States that they said a lot. I appreciate you, or I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Some appreciate, which is the phrase that we were really shocked because in Mandarin or Chinese, appreciate means, well, okay, we don't really say appreciate in Chinese. Yeah, I never heard people saying appreciate in Chinese outside of maybe wedding or ceremony for like graduation or something like that. Like it's not a word that we will use in our daily lives, but in the States, people say it so often, and I couldn't understand it before I go to the States. In the States, leaving the States, but after COVID, I saw there's many news because of COVID or maybe other things like Hong Kong or recently the Putin Russia, and I think I started to understand why people are saying that, because I think it gives, well, at least me myself, if I say to strangers or people I know that I appreciate it or appreciate you for doing something, it feels good, and I think it draws more connections, and I think it's also being supported to each other, even myself, and I think that will give me strength to face whatever I face, maybe small things or small struggles or big struggles in my life. I like when I heard you ask the questions, I was like, oh, I gotta share this. This is really interesting. But I probably still won't say 我很感激. That's what I appreciate it in Mandarin so often in Taiwan. That's just so weird. But I started to learn something. Like I'm still learning some American cultural thing, even though I left the States. And yeah, that's my answer.
It's a very cool answer, Eugene.
Very cool.
Eugene, how do people respond to you when you do say that in your country then? Like when you
they were shocked. They were they don't know how to respond. Like what did you just said? Or but I think it's part of a cultural things that Chinese, Taiwanese, we're kind of shy. We're not really used to using like emotional languages to express our feelings in the way people do in States. But I think people still understand it, and yeah, we appreciate it.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, who's next? So
Clara, you can go next.
I don't know. I don't have a cool answer like Eugene. I miss. I don't know. I think I miss the people. I miss my friends. I miss you. I miss. I don't know. My life back there. I liked it. I had fun a lot. And I don't know. Sometimes, it's just when I'm doing something, I'm with someone like some friends or something, and I don't know, I do something like super normal. I'm like eating, or I don't know, reading or whatever, and it's just some things that like pops up, and it's like, wow, I usually like did this when I was back in Wisconsin, and it was like super nice. But I don't have any example right now, I think.
Mickey?
Oh yeah, the thing I miss the most is my first host family, and big shout out to Danny that I can see right now. on the right side, Danny and Eric. That's what I miss the most. And you probably not gonna believe me, but I kind of miss American food. And for example, Buster Bewley's Texas Steakhouse, La Crosse area. That's what it is. Yeah, I miss this as well. And I also miss American school and friends that I made at American school, and of course as well sports that I was playing and I'm not doing anymore, like soccer and track. And yeah, and of course I miss you guys. That is for sure.
Well, we miss all three of you. And, you know, at this point, I think unless anybody had one last quick question, I think we're pretty much out of time for questions, but, oh, go ahead.
Eugene and Mickey and Clara, I am so excited. I'm supposed to be at a dinner 30 minutes ago, but I couldn't miss this opportunity to see you guys because I've been looking forward to this for so long. And I think on behalf of the club, we're just so proud of each of you and we miss you. And it's great to see you and your lives flourishing. So if you ever get back here, make sure you stop by and see us.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
And Clara, I was talking about you earlier today, and I'm like, maybe she can send us some risotto because so fun taught us how to do risotto that night.
If I'll come back, I'll make some.
There you go.
Sounds good. We'll look forward to it.
And I'll reach out to you, Clara, because we're gonna be.
I actually have a question. So Morgan had a question for us. I have a question for Morgan. What's your bench? Quick answer.
I haven't tested my max in a long time, but
Yeah.
let's see. I think I'm around 160-ish or so, 170. A lot
That's
lower.
fair. That's
sure.
fair. Thank you. Thank you.
Can you convert that to kilograms?
Not off the top of my head. I was gonna say
That's
times-
like 80 something. I don't know.
yeah, around that.
That's good. That's good.
That's awesome. So, hey, if everybody could look at their camera and give us a smile so we can, Ashley's going to take a quick screenshot for the Facebook page. So if you don't mind, we'll just do, you know, Ashley, you want me to just do like a 3, 2, 1 countdown? All right. So everybody smile, look at your camera. 3, 2, 1. All right. You get that, Ashley?
Let me make sure I didn't mess it
All right.
up.
All right.
I don't.
Well, you know, Eugene, Mickey, Clara, we're so glad you guys took the time to meet with us tonight. You know, we know it's not very convenient in your schedules, but it's, as Marissa said, it's so wonderful to see you, you know, see you growing up, hearing about your adventures, hearing about the good things that you're doing. We're so proud of you, and we're so glad that, you know, we could be part of your lives and that you are part of our lives. It's some of our favorite stories to tell in Rotary. And it really is. When we get new members in, we talk a lot about youth exchange, and we're really looking forward to the day when we can get some new students. They will never be as good as you are, but we're hoping for some new students to introduce to the club. So thank you again. And if
Can we
anybody,
take one more picture quick? I'm sorry, I messed
Sure.
up, you guys.
sure.
And
So
before you
sorry.
let it go, you should share the Laura news too.
Yes.
All right. Should we do a picture
Right.
quick?
Yep. All
Sorry,
right.
guys.
Ready?
All right.
3,
1,
2, 1.
All right.
All
You
right.
should
That
be-
one work?
I think so.
Okay, so I'm going to do the slideshow. So real quick, we're going to, so everybody, you know, Laura is such an important part of our club. So she had her little baby, Sawyer Ralph Lee. He was born. I know that, or I guess Marissa, did you want to speak to it, or do you?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I know that Laura was really bummed she couldn't be here because you three were an important part of her life too. So just thought we would share this while you were still on.
So I know Marissa had sent out a note earlier, you know, there were some complications, but at this point, things are looking positive. I believe they're still in Rochester and still, you know, getting the best medical care they can. But hopefully we're looking forward to seeing little Sawyer running around here in his little Rotary onesie. But yeah, I know how much Laura, how much each of you, Eugene, Clara, Mickey, how much you each mean to Laura as well. So to Marissa's point, we wanted to share. She's got her own future exchange student. So maybe someday we'll have Sawyer coming to one of your countries to learn about your culture. So it's pretty cool. So, but yeah, for everybody else, yeah, Marissa sent a note in email. So take a look, and if you decide you want to contribute or send good thoughts Laura's way, please do so, because she really is one of those 1 in a million Rotarians. So, anything to add, Marissa?
Nope, I got nothing.
Cool. Clara, Mickey, Eugene, you're more than welcome to stick around if you would like, but I also know that it's odd hours, so feel free. Again, thank you so much for coming. We'll look forward to seeing you again next year, and if there's anything we can ever do, don't hesitate to reach out, but don't feel the need to stay on if you don't want to. We're just going to go through club business, but if you miss the Rotary Club meetings so much, you're more than welcome to stick with us. So thank you again. Announcements. So we have a Rotary Leadership Series coming up. Dr. Erica Hunt is going to be talking about leadership in public education. And we have a Rotary Works Foundation update. So I'm not sure, is that Stephanie or Eileen who's going to be giving us a Rotary Works Foundation update, or both? If you're doing a duet, that's even better.
I don't mind giving it, Stephanie, if you're okay with that.
Sure, go for it.
Awesome. So we just had another Rotary Works Foundation meeting on the 25th, or excuse me, on Thursday, the 20th. We approved 2 grants, one for Habitat for Humanity to renew the block/pollinator gardens. And then another one we approved for the Wafer Food Pantry for a new facility renovation. And then Rotary Works Foundation is looking for a new administrator. Our current one is looking to wrap things up at the end of June. And so we're looking to find a replacement in the next couple months or so. The job requires a max of like 15 to 20 hours per week. It's preferably the ideal candidate will have an accounting background, especially fund accounting for nonprofits. Steph and myself can send out a job description and an application if anyone is interested. Just send us an email. We're looking for people to join the Legacy Club as well, and we can talk to you more about that if anyone is interested. Also, Rotary Works Foundation tentatively has a golf outing. It's scheduled right now for the 3rd Wednesday in May at Cedar Creek. I guess I'm curious to find out if anyone in RA would be interested in participating. But we just want to give some feedback to Rotary Works Foundation in the next couple of weeks. And some announcements from other clubs that were given during the Rotary Works Foundation is that Rotary East is hosting a bingo, brats, and beer in a hangar on March 5th, and there's more information to come from that in the coming months here. And then the Onalaska / Rotary Lights, just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who stepped up and supported and helped Rotary Lights during such a challenging year. So thank you everyone who went through it, participated, all that good stuff. But yeah, that was just kind of a little wrap up of our meeting.
Cool. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Stephanie, for your service and for the update. Lisa, did you have a foundation update, or should we keep on trucking?
Keep going, I don't.
Okay. Upcoming service opportunities. We have the Boys and Girls Club, February 17th, 5:15 to 6:30 p.m. Always promises to be a great event. So hopefully as many of you as possible can make it. And upcoming socials, the snowshoe at Island Outdoors got moved back due to the frigid temperatures, but looking forward to that later this week. And then we have Learn to Curl and charcuterie boards coming up as well. So two highlights for spring. Hopefully you can get some skills and go from there. We already talked a little bit about new mom Laura. Congratulations. And Ashley, would you like to talk about bylaw adjustment? Actually, are there any other announcements at this point? If not, Ashley, would you like to talk about bylaw adjustments?
Love to. So I sent out an email about 2 weeks ago with some changes to our bylaws. As a board, we thought it would be a good idea to add a treasurer-elect position. So last year, we changed the treasurer position to 2 years. By adding a treasurer-elect position, they would take a 2-year term. First year, they'd be treasurer-elect. The second year, they'd be treasurer. That would eliminate one of our 1-year directors, but we'd still have a 1-year director as well as a 3-year director. Our reason for doing this is the treasurer role, as our club has grown, has become more maybe work than it used to be in the past. We have better ways of tracking our budget, different ways of taking in revenue, that type of thing. And so it's a lot to learn, and having someone learn the position before they take the position, we thought would make more seamless transitions on the board for the next few years. So we are proposing adding the treasurer-elect, it'd be a 2-year position, and then removing the 1-year director position. Are there any questions or anyone on the board that wants to add anything? Yes, Josh.
Yeah, Ashley, I think your points are exactly spot on. The only thing I would add is, creating that treasurer-elect position makes it more flexible for somebody who doesn't have a finance or accounting background to become treasurer, right? If you're detail-oriented and you understand, math, like doing that, versus it's really hard if you don't have that background. So unfortunately, it seems like our number of accountants in the club is heading downward rather than upward. So we want to be able to make sure that there's good candidates and we can have good treasurers who feel comfortable versus just dropping people into the shark tank. So otherwise, pretty much all that's left is Bill, and he'll have to be treasurer.
And that way the treasurer position doesn't become like a 3-year position where they're trying to onboard the new treasurer when they're no longer on the board. I think that'll make sense. So, anything else? I don't think Nathan's on to kind of speak to that, but I know he was, as the new treasurer for this year, he said there's a lot of pieces to learn. So even though he has a good handle on things. So, any questions on it? All right.
Okay, excellent. So we're gonna ask the group to vote.
Yeah, so to make that change to our bylaws, we do need to have club vote. So to make it easy, there's a QR code. If you have a smartphone, you can just take a picture or put your camera up to it. It should take you, it's a 1 question if you approve it or not. And then we should be good.
Very good. So yeah, we would appreciate if folks can vote. If you have questions or anything, reach out to Ashley. And Ashley, if anybody has questions, you're happy to send out the QR code, right? Okay. Cool. Thank you, Danny, for the comment. We appreciate it. Is that because you were a treasurer? Have you been a treasurer in the past? Okay. And
No, I hope I didn't sway anybody's votes, but
no,
it's a great idea.
She was more than a certain number of feet from the polling station, so she should be all fine.
There you go. Well, let's just move on before we start making political jokes. But and then Liz also dropped in the chat. Thank you, Liz, for the reminder about the grant management seminars coming up. If you're interested in grant management seminars and getting more involved in the foundation, reach out to me. I believe we have at least a couple people going. I know Sierra's going, Liz is going. I think we might have 1 or 2 other people going as well. So we should have a decent group. So if you're interested, it's an interesting piece to learn more about and get involved. Are you ready to move forward, Ashley?
Yep.
All right. Take it away for part 2.
All right. Sorry, just 1 second. So, along those lines, we are in the process of starting our kickoff for our board for next year. So that would be July 1st, 2022 through June 30th of 2023. Here are some important dates. So we're kicking it off tonight. After this meeting, you will get an email with a link to a SurveyMonkey, and it will ask you for nominations. There is an attachment that has all of the eligible board members on it. So anyone that's in the club that's not already on the board for next year, which we'll get to in a minute, name should be on there. So you can put people in, you can self-nominate. It's totally anonymous, so no one will know if you nominated them for a position. That will run through February 9th, so the day after our next meeting. Then we have about a month or two to meet with those people that were, well, I should back up. The secretaries will send out emails to all those that were nominated to see if they're interested. And then after that, myself or someone from the election committee will meet with those people to see what their interest is. And then as an election committee, which is made up of board members and then some at-large members, we will fill in the open spots, which we will then bring to our club to vote on May 10th. So, and then, like I said, that board will take effect July 1st of this year. So if you want to go to the next slide. So this is all of the people that will be on the board for next year, as well as all of the open positions. As you can see, there's a lot of open positions. It's a great way to learn how our club works, have a say in kind of what we do. If you've never been on a board before, it's a great way to get your feet wet before maybe eventually at some point you will be on a board in the community. It's a lot of fun. I know it's another night, another hour out of your week once a month, but it's been a great way to create new friendships and do a lot of fun things. So the positions that are open are the president-elect nominee. So I will take over as president. We'll have James as president-elect. Josh is going to stay on as our past president. Nathan will stay as our treasurer, and then Stephanie will stay as our secretary, but we'll be looking for a treasurer-elect. So that's the new position that we just created where they will learn from the treasurer and then become the treasurer. Secretary-elect would be treasurer or secretary-elect this year, which would become the secretary the following year, sergeant at arms, a director for 3 years, and then a 1-year director. Are there any questions? No. Sorry, I know I went through that quick.
I think you're singing to the choir, Ashley. I was counting the number of people on the call who've been on the board before, and it's easily the majority here tonight. So yeah, it's a good group though.
I was gonna say we have a lot of people that have been on the board. So if you have any questions, I don't know if anyone that's on the board currently or has been on the board. If you guys want to add anything or your experience with the board, feel free to do so. I found it rewarding, so I've learned a lot. Learned a lot about Robert's rules. Oh man, can't even get it right. So Danny asked why we have a 1-year director and a 3-year directors. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the three-year director is just to kind of keep some consistency on the board year to year.
We've talked about changing that, I think, a number of times from a 3-year to a 2-year, not necessarily having 2 1-years, but decreasing that to a 2-year. So we have talked about that. It just hasn't, I don't think, ever necessarily gone anywhere. But this is a hefty year with the 3-year director open too. So, but I think a valid point, Danny. Thank you for raising it. And I'm excited for Ashley's year. I think she's going to do great. So I'm really excited to hand over like the golden keys and the baton of office and have fun. No, I'm just kidding. It's a good experience. I don't want to make too much light of it.
New members are welcome to be on the board. There's no, you don't have to be a member for X amount of time before you're on the board. We welcome new members as well.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, there's no required amount of experience to be on the board. I would probably caution, if you're only a couple months in the board, I would probably caution you about running for president, just because that is a larger commitment and just making sure you understand what you're getting yourself into. But I think all the others are good choices. So.
From experience, if you are interested in getting to know everybody in the club, secretary-elect is a great position for that.
Thanks, Liz.
any, I think, yeah, I guess any questions? Sorry, Ashley, I mean, any questions anybody has about the roles? Otherwise, I think we can keep on rolling, but encourage, for those who have been on the board and are longer term members, please encourage, new members and folks to join. We really want it to be something that people look forward to and enjoy, which I think they do. We've cut back on the board meeting, so we only meet once a month now, right, Ashley?
Yes.
So that helps too for a time commitment. So Bill's nodding his head. I think we got a treasurer elect coming down the pipe for Bill Pritt. Sorry, I got to give Bill a hard time. He's only got a few things on his plate. So yeah, sorry, Ashley, have anything else to add?
Nope.
There's a question in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is.
Sarah asked about a place to view job descriptions for each position. I didn't include them in the email just because they're, I don't know, Josh, do you think it's just best to reach out to us if you have questions about a position and we can send it to you, or should we send it to everyone?
Is it too much to send in one email? Is it too large?
I don't know. I didn't try, but I can see.
Ideally, if we could send them out with the email, I think that would help, just because that's a lot of extra steps for folks to have to send out a bunch of emails, because I know for the secretaries and you that, I mean, that's a lot if people are asking. So if we're able to get them all in the same email, I think that's ideal. Otherwise, maybe we post them on a Google Drive or somewhere where people have view access.
Yeah.
Does everyone have access in Club Runner to the
They
documents?
do. We could put together a snip on how to find them on Club Runner as well. That might be easy too.
Okay, we'll do that.
We'll leave it up to you and the secretaries. You guys got it. Okay.
I will get them together and make sure they're in Club Runner and let people know how to do that, or work with the secretaries to do that. So
Sweet.
I think
and
you
hopefully
can-
everybody's got their Club Runner login handy.
I think you can create a link, like a shareable link from a document in Club Runner. So you could just share out the link and take them to that document in Club Runner.
Thank you, Eugene. Thanks for the note. Stay strong. See you later.
I think you guys mentioned this, but I also just wanted to emphasize that you can nominate yourself. So this doesn't have to be nominations of other people, but you can nominate yourself too.
Mhm. But yeah, also feel free, if you have questions about the roles, feel free to reach out to any current board members. If you're not sure who that is, Ashley, myself, Marissa, we can point you in the right direction. Then I saw one last announcement. Membership is meeting right after this. They put their Zoom meeting link in the chat. And any other questions on elections before we adjourn here? Okay, next meeting will be at the UW Planetarium. There will not be an online option. I mean, I assume everybody would be really thrilled to look at a black screen for 45 minutes and listen to somebody talk, because the camera's not going to pick up the stars. So we're just not going to have an online version. So hopefully you can make it. If you can't make it, they do have shows routinely running, so you can always go to some of their other shows as well. And I believe, Mr. Harris, are you leading the next meeting, right? So past President Brandon Harris will be leading the fun at the next planetarium meeting. So if you want to blast from the past, that's the one to go to. I believe that is it. So we'll do the 5-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And is it fun? And there's the QR code if you would like to jump on and nominate some board members now. I will leave that up, but otherwise, thank you all for joining. Thank you again to our exchange students. Mickey, I think you're the only one left standing, but
yeah. I'm the only one left, and thank you.
Sweet. So thanks everybody. Otherwise, yeah, if anybody's got questions for Mickey, or you just want to hang out and socialize, feel free.
Yeah, Mickey, what's your cat's name?
Cat's name? My cat's name is Cat. Yeah. She doesn't has name. It's just a cat. It is what it is. What else can I say?
Mickey. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's it's funny.
Mickey is being Mickey.
It is good to see you, Mickey, and it's good to see
It
everyone.
is good to see you, Bill, as well. I
Yeah.
didn't see you for a while. How you doing?
Okay, I've been kind of in my wintering period, I guess.
Oh,
you'd
really?
say, Mickey, after taking on a few roles in the district, I've been hiding as best I can from stuff in Rotary in the district, just to kind of catch myself a little bit again. But that is coming to an end.
You're a busy guy, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying not to be. This is retirement is hard. I'm not doing it as well as I want to. But in July I'll be back in your world again. I've been asked to take over for Jan Bonset Veal.